You ever have a really bad day? Just one of them days where it seems like one thing after another goes wrong. Like, say, a punter throwing a touchdown, coughing up a double-digit lead, and one of the biggest special team blunders in playoff history. Well, hop into the DeLorean with me to good old 2014, the NFC Championship Game. The Packers were up. Seattle looked cooked. Aaron Rodgers had done enough. The defense had done enough. Green Bay has done everything except finish. Then the ball went straight up in the cold Seattle air and somehow everything slipped away. And I brought in Santino Maione to tell his story of when Brandon Bostick became the face of Heartbreak in Green Bay. This is
When I was like 5 or 6 years old, the Packers score a touchdown. I see one of the I forget who the player was, I'll be so real, but I see one of the players Lambeau leap, and there's a bunch of fans wearing cheese hats, and my 5-year-old self is like, oh, I'm like, that's pretty funny. And then I see it happen a couple more times, and I was just like, I don't know, something just, I just got lost in the cheese hat. I got lost in the cheese heads, and I became a cheese head myself, and that's just what happened. I don't know if it was because I like cheese in my pasta, or I don't know what the reasoning was at 5 years old, but like the fact that that's just what Green Bay does, and that's the aura and the camaraderie, I guess, that organization and that fan base can just exude out to everybody, and I guess I'm an example of that, or I'm a 5-year-old that just got entranced by cheese. Either way, that's why I became a Packers fan. But growing up watching that man fling a football, toss that pigskin, throw it the way that he could throw it, the throw against the Dallas Cowboys, rolling out to his left and just flicking it to Jared Cook down, 20 some odd yards, the accuracy on that throw, the Hail Marys, I could go on and on and on, which is not what we're here for. But watching Aaron Rodgers throw a football is just something that I don't think can be replicated for me. Like, I'm never going to be able to experience that era of time that I watched Packers football and watched NFL football. Aaron Rodgers is just something else, dude. He's incredible. Obviously, I'm confident. You go in as a fan being like, nah, we can win this game. Like, we got this. Like, that's the mindset that I'm always gonna have. At the same time, Rodgers was dealing with an injury already in that playoff, so I'm coming into this game thinking, I'm like, all right, damn, like, he looked good. He looked good still. Injured, he was playing phenomenally against Dallas. But how good is he gonna look on the road with the 12th man, with the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, Michael Bennett, the list goes on and on and on. Cam Chancellor. Do my best to take myself back to that moment. Opening drive, Rodgers threw a pick to Richard Sherman, but after that interception, it was turnover city. Russell Wilson throwing picks left and right to Clinton Dix. Could not complete a pass. Doug Baldwin's fumbling on kick returns. Like, we're forcing fumbles left and right, and it's raining. We were up 16-0. We should have been up by more. But to be up 16-0, forcing the turnovers, I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, we got this. We're good.
And they were good. Well, until they weren't.
Infamous Green Bay Packer A.J. Hawk is put in probably one of the worst conundrums you could possibly be put in, where John Ryan takes the fake kick and he runs it out, and it's a 4th down, obviously. He could go get the 1st down, or Seattle could have the touchdown, and A.J. Hawk's put in a compromising position. Do I surrender the 1st down, or do I surrender the touchdown? And in hindsight, obviously, I want you to surrender the 1st down. But as an NFL player, what are you going to do? You're going to go for the ball carrier. It's your instinct. You're going to go get the guy. So, that's what he's doing. And John Ryan throws a touchdown pass to Gary Gilliam, of all people. I did not know who he was before that. Did not care who he was before that. Disliked him more after the fact. Don't know where he is now. Don't care where he is now. Because it wasn't Jermaine Kearse. It wasn't Doug Baldwin. It wasn't Tyler Lockett. It wasn't any of these guys. It wasn't Beast Mode. It was Gary Gilliam and John Ryan who started the comeback. The second touchdown for me, wasn't as, I guess, the way it was scored wasn't as big of a thing for me. The first one, obviously, John Ryan Gilliam, that's different. The way it was scored, okay, they scored a touchdown. It was just the fact that they scored, regardless of how it happened. That really isn't what sticks out in my mind to me. It's the fact that, okay, goddamn, they scored again. It's now 19-14. What have we done? Can we respond now? Are we going to just drain the clock out? I'm thinking, what is Green Bay? What is the response?
But before the Packers could respond, Seattle lined up for an onside kick to capitalize on their momentum. And y'all saw the thumbnail. We all know why we're here. So I'll let Santino take the mic from here.
This was my lowest moment as a sports fan. And this was before the game even ended. And I know this is what this show is for, is talking about those scarred moments. And this was truly my lowest moment. And still to this day, out of any team that I'm a fan of, any player that I'm a fan of, this was my lowest moment. Brandon Bostick has forever ruined a portion of my childhood. That kick, it goes up, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I see Jordy, and I can see Jordy before even the replay is shown. I see Jordy sitting there waiting for the ball to fall into his hands, his beautiful hands that he caught so many touchdown passes from Aaron Rodgers. He's sitting there waiting for that ball, saying, all right, I'm going to get this. We're going to ice it. It's going to be all good. And Brandon Bostick jumps up, trying to be the hero. I don't know. I've never heard him talk or ever even heard an interview of him. I've never heard that man speak. I don't know if he's defended his actions. I genuinely don't know if he's said, oh, I wasn't trying to be. No. Missed me with all of that. You were trying to be the hero. You wanted, because you didn't do jack of anything. You didn't do jack what. You weren't a starter. You were on special teams. You wanted to get your name written in the history of a game. And by trying to do that, by trying to do something you were not equipped to do, you were not meant to be doing, that was not your role on the special team. There's a reason that Jordy is on the hands team, so Jordy can catch the football. But no, Brandon Bostick jumps up and Seattle recovers the football. And at that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, we lost. I'm like, they're gonna run the clock down, time management it, and score with barely any time left on the clock, and we're going to lose the NFC Championship and blow a 19-0 lead. Regardless of how it happened, you should have never been within 25 yards of the football. Get yourself out of the way. Like, why are you even jumping for it? I don't care about football instincts. Blah, blah. If you know that your best wide receiver is sitting there waiting for the football, move out of the way. Don't even jump. Go block somebody. Lay on the ground. I don't care what you do. Do not jump for that football. You hadn't caught a pass all year, I don't think. You're a tight end. I don't care that you're a tight end. You hadn't done anything. Oh, my God, man. Like, why are you...
So Seattle recovers the onside kick, marches down the field for the go-ahead score, but they need to go up 3 so a field goal won't end their season. So what do you do in that situation? You go for 2. How did it go?
We blew the play up. I think it was Julius Peppers jumping in the backfield, or he had Russ, and Russ is turning, dancing. He doesn't know his left from his right. He doesn't know where he's at, and he throws up a prayer. And I'm like, there's no way this prayer is getting answered. His regular throws have been getting picked off all goddamn game. How is this going to happen? And it gets caught. And I see the replay. And I'm just like, that was my reaction. I couldn't say anything. I'm like, what are you doing? Forget even having to pick it off. Just stick a paw out and bat it down. Like, he didn't make an effort. He didn't do anything. Luke Wilson is celebrating in the end zone, and I'm just like, we're down 22-19. We had a 19-0 lead. And thinking about the compounding plays of the punter to the offensive tackle touchdown, Brandon Bostick, and then you have the 2-point conversion of dreams that would not be converted 9.9 times out of 10, but the 0.1 time that our safety decided not to do anything. Of course, it happened against the Green Bay Packers. So much of my hope had been ripped from me and been stripped at that point that as much as I wanted to have faith in Aaron Rodgers, I thought the game was over because we hadn't been able to move the ball for the entirety of that second half pretty much because the Legion of Boom was stifling us. Just the way that our offense had been playing, I'm like, can we even muster anything up right now? I'm like, can Rodgers do this? And he showed me why he's Aaron Rodgers and why he's in my opinion, the best pure quarterback ever, because he's done that countless times. A minute to go, under a minute to go, 20 seconds to go, 15 seconds, doesn't matter. Yeah, my hope was pretty much gone at that point, and then he revitalized it, as he's done a lot of times for my fandom, through my fandom, I should say.
So Rodgers matriculates the ball downfield for the game-tying field goal, as he is wont to do. So we're headed to overtime with a trip with the Super Bowl on the line.
As soon as Seattle won the coin flip, I said, all right, they're getting at least a field goal because we haven't been able to stop them. And there was no evidence to the contrary, no evidence that I was given that the defense could make plays, especially after what Clinton-Dix just did. I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, we're seeming to not give effort anymore. When you allow a team to get back into a game like this and to gain confidence in any kind of way, just the mere fact that it wasn't even Russ that made the first play, but the mere fact that Seattle made that first play, going back to John Ryan and Gary Gilliam, that exudes confidence and a momentum shift change in the entire game on both sides of the field, on both sidelines. There's a shift that happens. Russ had regained his confidence. And I think that when he saw the fact that he could just hock up a prayer football to Luke Wilson and nobody's even going to go try to bat it down, he goes, well, I can throw anything I want right now and they're not going to do anything. Because that's what it seemed like, that nobody wanted to do anything anymore. So yeah, was it surprising to see Russ go from Jameis Winston to Aaron Rodgers, throwing picks left and right all over the lot, like Lord save me from pick sixes? Yeah, was it surprising? Sure, but that's what happens when you let a team back in the game and you don't put your foot down on a team and stomp them and shut them out.
And all that momentum Seattle built up led to a game-winning play that is forever hailed in Seattle history and forever lauded in Packers history.
I was in my living room right here, and I'm watching it on the TV. I'm still in the same house that I was in 12 years ago. And my immediate reaction is depression and just, utter shock, disbelief, clamoring and searching for an understanding of how that possibly could have happened and how that did happen, and not being able to find any answers. There's just no explanation for how that many things could go wrong and that sequence of events could occur in one game. Because sure, there are moments in other games. There's a moment. There's one thing that happens, but this was one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. I don't think I've ever seen a game like it in the NFL in general since. There have been great comebacks. Don't get me wrong. The crazy way that it happened and the combination of mistakes, along with incredible plays that kind of happened simultaneously. That 2-point conversion play, for example, is a great play by Russ and Luke Wilson. It's miraculous, but it's also a terrible play simultaneously by Clinton-Dix. I don't think there's another fan base that would experience something like this. To juxtaposition, the Falcons experienced that collapse. This was something different. This was like the ghosts were in Seattle. I think Brett Favre put a curse on Rodgers. I don't know what happened, man, but this was something.
Thank you to Santino for coming on. This post-credit scene, we're doing a little something different. Instead of one last question, this is going to be more podcast style. Part of the episode I'd usually leave on the cutting room floor, but let's see how y'all react to it. So without further ado, post-credit scene, go.
Realistically, this has never left my mind. Talking about it right now, obviously, many fans can recall things so vividly and can recall things. But I will never forget the sequence of events that happened in that game. There are other games maybe I'll forget. Maybe I'll forget the exact specifics of it. There were even little details here that I might have missed. But the overall sequence of events will never be something that I can forget, regardless of whether I'm still able to watch sports or not. It's never going to leave my head.
So to that token, the first episode ever of this show is me talking about the helmet catch. And when I tell you, I wrote the script originally without rewatching the game. Yeah. And then I rewatched the game and saw that I remembered everything to the T. And I was, same as you, I was 11 years old when that happened. These things stay in your bones, man. And that's why the show exists. Because fandom does this to you. Because we love our team so much. Because we're so dedicated to this thing. When moments like this happen, it stays in your bones, almost more than winning a Super Bowl does.
Oh, this stays in my bones way. I remember this, and I remember the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't get me wrong. But I remember this way more. This sticks out in my mind way more. It also happened more recently. So, you are right, though, that, and one of the things, I just want to say this because this has happened with multiple of my teams. Whether it's a collapse or just a really bad loss. And I've had friends of my ex-girlfriend included. People always ask me, do dude, it's just a game. Like, why are you getting so? And I say to them, and I look at them, and I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up right now. I'm like, that is probably one of the worst things that I can hear when it comes to sports, when it comes to my fandom, is, oh, it's just a game, dude. It's just and like people saying, well, like, dude, like, why do you allow like a team and like these grown men to control your emotions? And they don't understand. If you're not a sports fan, if you're not, if you don't understand what sports does and the camaraderie that it creates between complete strangers, what it does as not even an escape, but just something like, it kind of is an escape in a way that you regardless of everything that's going on, you can sit down and watch your squad go battle one out. And it's like, there's nothing else like it. And then when something like that happens, like, I'm a Duke college basketball fan. When Duke lost to UNC in the Final Four on that Caleb Love shot, like things like that, just they eat away at you, man. Like, it really does suck. And this is what this show, like you said, is for, is to show the pain and to relive these things that have gone on, and some of these moments that a lot of people may have forgotten about, especially from the losing side's perspective.
And the thing I love to say about this show is it's a Trojan horse series about love. Because again, if you didn't love your Packers, it wouldn't hurt this much.
No.
It wouldn't hurt this much. And you hit it on the head when you said y'all just don't understand the pain. Like, that's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, you don't get it. I'm like, you don't get it. Like, you don't understand. Like, I was saying this, I think it was in reference to when the Bills lost to the Chiefs on the missed wide right field goal like 2 years ago, last year, God, whenever that was. Yeah. I was like, bruh, can you imagine hearing wide right again as a Bills fan, and losing to the Chiefs at home? Oh my God. Like,
or the Ravens, Mark Andrews dropping that ball.
I'm in Maryland. So I got a first person, my older brother's a Ravens fan. Like, I got a first person view of what that was like to see in person. You can't describe it. And if you're not a sports fan, you just don't get it, and you probably never will. Like, it's just,
it's not probably.
It's not for you to understand. Like,
it's not probably, you never will. It's not, you never will. It's simple as that. Just like I may not understand other things, like, whatever the equivalent to that is, there are things I'll never be able to understand. But if you're not a sports fan, like an actual sports fan, you will not be able to understand what this kind of thing is like. Simple as that.